test plan and
Yep.
what to write in each section.
But for test one, I heard like it's more senior testers
Yes.
or lead testers
Unit testing.
writing the test
So
one.
these are the things that we are going to
we not
do.
so.
What are the verification methods you are going to write? What is the risk involved? Risk analysis. So all those things you define here in your test plan. If there are any attachment or any document that you have to attach, you can attach it here. And now it begins our test cases. So here is the manual test case or all automation.
1 minute. Go back to test plan.
Okay.
So in the test plan,
Yes.
description,
Yes.
right? When we're writing this description in the test plan, right? Do we write anything like what is this description? Okay, school.
No, I just give you the index. You have to write the detail here. Requirements. What is it? Yeah. So that's what we discussed last week, right? In the when we studied the test plan.
It's just like description of the steps, but we need to
Description of what? No, description of your what kind of testing you are going to do. No. Sometimes you have to more test plan. Sometimes it depends on the company, right? Let's say right now we are going to write one test plan and under that 4 test case. Assume that. No. This is your entire test plan for the entire project, right? Now let's create a test case. It's a manual test case or automation test case. What is that? So right now we are going to write a manual test case, and
we're gonna learn after meeting, right?
Yes.
Next time.
1 point, yeah. Let's say we write test case 1.1 test create patient. So we have this test case. Now let's write one more here. 1.2 edit TC, or let's say TC, or let's give this format TC02 edit test edit patient. Edit patient. Let me update this one also. Yeah.
Wow, this just looks different, isn't it?
Yeah, I need to delete this thing.
See? This one looks totally different.
TC01 create patient. See, that's the reason I'm not recording. People don't pay attention when I start showing that. They say that it's already going to record, so no need to pay attention. So now let's say we created this test patient. Test case. Now let's write what is the purpose of this test case. So the purpose of this test case is to verify create patient functionality of system. Then you write we are going to use this attachment. We can write an Excel sheet if you want to create 5 patients. So you need to instruct what to put in each field to the testers, right? Let's say you write this test case, she is going to execute. Which user ID she has to use to log into the system, she doesn't know. So you will put all this thing here.
She's gonna test it?
She is going to execute it. What is test case and test case execution? Execution means step by step, following through each step.
The same person doesn't do both?
Sometimes they do. Most of the time you don't do that.
Okay, so you're writing the description again, right? But won't that be in your test plan already?
Which description? This description is per test protocol. We are going to write description about this. We are going to write what this protocol is do. If we have a 50 protocol, if I have to execute the 40th one, I don't know what the protocol is going to do, what I'm trying to achieve here. So by reading this page, I know, okay, I need to test create patient, I need to test vitals in this one, I need to do these things. So basic idea about what you are going to do in each step next, you can understand by reading this purpose.
Okay, so now you just create a patient, and the purpose is to verify, create patient
Functionality.
The second one was,
To
Edit
verify edit patient, yeah.
and then in the same, what would you say in the description? Something else?
Yeah, in the description, the purpose of this test case is to verify edit functionality of a system.
Even though it just says edit, you still have to describe the whole thing.
Most of the time, let's say edit patient, I give you one example. In your company, when you go, you might be doing hundreds of operation in one test case itself. So you need to describe it in a narrowed brief description what you are going to test it. Let's say you want to test a flight reservation of a web service. So just to book one flight, you are going to enter actual flight information, you are going to test web service, how does that work, and so many other database related work also. So how do you going to, how directly you cannot ask the tester to execute 300 steps of protocol. So you need to tell him in brief that what this book is about, as like a preface. So
Okay,
that's what you write it here.
Okay.
And who designed it, or so let's say designer. Oh, I'm right now as a project manager itself, we are doing all those things, but generally a QA engineer has to do it. So right now you can put a status also. So right now we are in
That's
design
what we
status.
have here. Do you remember you gave it to us? This is not the same?
This is the same. Some companies you have to write it in the document, some companies you have to do it in quality center. This is in ready state, right? Let's put it. Now in each step, what we are going to do? Yeah, can you concentrate here? See, the test step number will be automatically generated. Step name.
Go again. Go back. I missed it.
That's the reason I'm asking.
No. When you finish and when you started.
So let's say when I'm on this design description, design detail about a test protocol, right? I put the purpose of the protocol. It's a brief description about what the protocol is all about, what the functionality is going to cover. Then we go to the design step. Then you step name, create. It will automatically.
It has already columns.
Yeah, so you just have to write it.
You said the number was created automatically?
Now let's step 1. What are you gonna do in step 1? What was the first test case?
How did you move over there on this screen?
Okay, click on no, right? So let's say I created on the first this one, and click on the new step.
New step.
So it's a step 1. So what is the basic thing that we understood in the template? What was the template about, right? In the template, test case template, how was that? When we did that, it will has step number, then what was it? Prerequisites. Yeah, prerequisites. Then what was that?
Step description of the step.
Description. Then what was that?
No, this is already like the test case, right?
Step
Expected results.
Expecting result.
Expected
and actual result.
And actual results. So these were the columns over there, right? So we are entering the same thing here. Step number, prerequisites, description, and expected result.
Okay.
So here what we are going to write, description is login. What was the first step that we did? Login using ID
verification.
Wasn't the first step to install the software?
Yeah, you can write that thing here in the prerequisites in the test purpose here. I'll show you where to write that. So it needs all these things.
Did it have a spelling checkup or?
No.
Right?
No, it has it is ABC. Yeah, this has a spelling check. Yeah. Login to connects using user ID.
And password?
What user ID?
User ID admin?
Yeah, admin. So
And
write
the
down that.
password?
And expected result was what was the first step for that? NA, right?
No. Yeah,
No,
because
NA. So it's an
Yeah.
execution step. So now do you see the thing? The way we wrote in Excel sheet?
yes.
Now let's write one more step.
Step 2.
Yes.
And it
So
creates
log,
that 2 for you already.
yeah, it
So now
creates
you
automatically for you.
okay, so now you would say login using
And enter password or enter password
Pritesh.
Pritesh. Expected result
NA.
NA. Now we will create one more. Now what do you say? What is the third step? Click on
Login.
login button. And now is the key. Expected results. How are you gonna write? What did we just
Login
discuss?
was successful.
No.
Verify. Sorry, I forgot.
Verify
Uh,
that user should be able to log into
the system.
Connects PM.
See, where we have to find this keywords from?
Come up.
I told you, right? You just by examining or by examining the actual protocols of the company, you just take that how which format they write it, then you can come up with
Yeah,
it.
like
It's not difficult,
you were telling me that.
right?
they
And
can
what was
use
the other
less.
thing that we did this morning? The second thing, the username
Should
be displayed
on
on
the
top right
hand.
corner, right? So these
Mhm.
were my expected results. So
Yes.
now do you see the same thing here?
Yes.
Oh, I need to move this thing down.
Oh.
How do I do that? Adjust a row,
But the
renumber.
expected result,
Yeah.
isn't that
So
written in the UIS?
I'm sorry.
The expected result, isn't that written in the UIS or SRS?
So based on that, you okay. So now do you see 1, 2, and 3? I'm sorry. Say that again.
The expected result, shouldn't that be in the UIS?
No, it should match what is in the UIS, but it should not be in the that. You need to figure out what should be my expected result based on the UIS.
Yeah, based on the UIS.
Based on
So
the UIS.
your wording can also match that or be
Correct.
similar to it.
Yeah.
Or it
Your
shouldn't
wordings could.
match it.
It should. If you can match it, that's good.
Okay.
If you can come up with your own words, that's also good.
Sometimes you don't know what the expected result should be unless you know
Unless you know.
what
So
how
that's
is
where you
this
found
written.
it. Yeah. Now click on file, new patient, and what is the expected result at that time?
Screenshot that
Create
Create patient
window.
window should
window should be displayed. It's just a glorified way of writing.
Yeah,
It's not.
I mean, you'll get that eventually, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So I'm like, I'm coming up with different words,
There's
but it's just
keywords displayed, expected,
Yeah,
verified.
expected, verified, right? So now do you see the test case? How we are writing the test case?
just like we did on the
Excel sheet.
except this is
It's just
So
same
we don't
thing.
need Excel anymore.
no.
That's the thing, right? In some companies who can afford this software, it's an expensive software.
So Mercury is this very popular when
Yeah,
people
it's very popular.
But how about the ClickQuest?
That's also popular. Some companies have all the IBM softwares, then they will buy that. Some companies have these things.
Mm.
So many companies build car, right? So why do you buy only from Toyota or only from Honda,
And
right?
Windrunner is the
It's a separate tool for separate purpose. Now let's try to focus on this one right now for the
Okay,
time
okay.
being, right? So now, do you understand what the test case means?
Yep.
And
Yes.
if you have to, no, it has to requirement coverage. Select a requirement. Which requirement we are mapping in the patient? You see now?
Yeah.
So now we can map it there here. SRS.
To the
To the SRS. Which SRS that we mapped it
I
now?
was gonna say, how do you know what cases you're working
Yeah.
on?
Now, and if you have to attach some screenshot or some test file or Excel sheet, if you have to create 5 patients, so which name should I use? If I have to create 5 patients with these many roles, if you have to test, if you have to instruct a tester, so So that's where you attach that Excel sheet here
And use it to
to
what
tell that okay, enter the first record from the Excel sheet to create a patient. So first Excel sheet will have first name, last name, address and everything. So you don't have to write 50 steps here to create a patient.
We don't have to, or we have to?
What I'm trying to say here is, right,